coming to you live. My site is listed on the screen, maryamyofficial.com. As an intuitive wisdom coach and empath, I'm ultra-sensitive and capable of understanding and knowing your spirit. I've joined forces with the 4 elements of nature to be in the flow. Let's begin to transition bad luck and bad karma with goodness. Angels are celestial beings performing acts of goodness for humanity. I hope to bring us together in a peaceful way of life. On our show today, we have topics, a weekly quote, angel facts. We have guest Tina DuBois from Canada, and she is founder of the Metaphysical School. We have some topics, and we have a gemstone. I guess right now I'll just mention that we were supposed to have a wonderful, wonderful person, Mujin Choi, and here's Mujin. And Mujin is right now in Arizona, and he's an old friend of mine, and he's a healer. And unfortunately, Mujin will not be here this morning. He will come back at another time. I hope everyone sends him some good energy, and he's always sending us good energy and healing. So let's just say blessings to you, Mujin, and we'll see you soon, and I hope you're well. So moving on, I'm just going to go right into our prayer today. And our prayer today is from the New Heart of Wisdom. It's a dedication prayer through the Virtues I've Collected section. And the prayer is, by practicing the stages of the path, may all living things find the opportunity to practice in the same way. May everyone experience the happiness of humans and gods and quickly attain enlightenment so that the samsara is finally extinguished. The samsara is the cycle of death and rebirth to which life in the material world is bound. I'd also like to send a prayer and love to a good friend of mine, Janine, and I hope you feel better soon. We all have to try to have patience, especially I want to welcome that and love on this show, because that's what I'm all about. I want everyone to find their inner light and the glowing, beautiful light that's in their heart. And as soon as you find it yourself and you clear all the darkness that's going on inside of you, negative emotions and feelings that's inside of you and around you in your energy field, you can bring that love to other people. Oh, I just got my friend Kristen. She just sent hearts, and I'm going to send I love you back because I do love her. It's just about love today. That's all it's about, which is good, right? Okay, so let's talk about, let's see. Oh, our quote today. I'm a little like all over the place here today because I just was distracted before the show. Sorry about that. Our quote today is, an individual can adopt the way of life of the future, the non-violent way, without having to wait for others to do so. What if an individual can do it? Cannot whole groups of individuals, whole nations? Zones of peace in their own lives prepare the world of tomorrow. Gandhi was born in 1869. He passed in 1948. He was assassinated by gunshot. He was a lawyer, activist, writer, known for independence movement of nonviolent resistance. I truly believe that you cannot go up against negativity or aggression with aggression. It will not shift away. The only way to go up against negativity and aggression is with light and virtuous actions, positivity. I would like to talk about dream work. Now, I am a full believer in dream work. And so starting back in 2014, I started keeping a journal. And this is my journal from 2014, which has all my dreams, well, the majority of them. And I've since created my dream journal, which is available on Amazon by Mary Amy. And there's a login here for 100 entries. And then there's also an introduction, and it talks about dream work. And dream work is, here's my section on dream work. Dream work is essentially relates to the interpretation and altering and resolving the dream content in future dreams by consciously acknowledging before sleep. What does that mean? That means before you're going to sleep, you've analyzed and done some interpretation of your dreams, and you're going to try to correct, or you're going to try to work on what's going on in your inner spirit. And our dreams show guidance and protection. And my dreams will give me premonitions or warnings about the future. And I listen to my dreams. You can be given information about particular people in your lives. You can be told details about things that you should do. If you really pay attention, maybe there's a piece of paper with writing on it and numbers or a location you're supposed to go to. So dream work, you are essentially having that knowledge, and then you're asking yourself questions about your dreams. Maybe there's a fear that you have in your dreams. You're running from something. I spent many years running in my dreams. Finally, I said I went to sleep one night, I'm not going to run. I'm going to stand there in my dream and see what happens, because that's the information you're supposed to receive. What's going to happen when you stop running? Or maybe you're going to see symbolism in your dream or archetypes. Native Americans believed in dreams that you were communicating with your ancestors and spirit guides who gave guidance and healing. Now there's what's called astral travel, which is an out-of-body experience. It's OBE. It's soul separating from your physical body, and you travel outside throughout the universe, unlimited time, distance, and mass. There's no scientific proof or evidence of astral projection. Lucid dreaming is similar. It may occur while you're half asleep, and it's similar to astral projection. There's also what's called NDE, near-death experiences, where you leave your body and you can see yourself above your body. And that's when it's been said that you travel and an angel will take you to the other side, and you experience a situation of a very powerful, beautiful light that you're going into. On that note, I'm going to bring up angel facts. And angel facts, I have a painting that I did here a long time ago. And I brought it in here because I really wanted to bring as much angel power into the show today. So an angel fact here, we're going to combine an angel energy with a visualization. So I'd like you to close your eyes, and I'd like you to relax your body. Take a breath and let it go, and just relax. And let go of whatever's happened before this moment, and concentrate on your breath. Take some breaths in and release. I'd like you to let go of tension. Now, I'd like you to visualize above your head, from the heavens, from the sky, a beautiful, bright, glowing light. And you're receiving it on the crown of your head, the crown chakra. And this beautiful, bright light is coming down, and it's touching you on the head. It's sending light throughout your body. It's coming down from the angels into your crown chakra. And you're asking the angels to be healed. And you're asking the angels to please send me light and heal me. Open your eyes. And so now I would like to present our guest today, which is Tina DuBois, the founder of the Metaphysical School, the online Metaphysical School. I'm just trying to pull Tina up. Now, Tina, her school is a video education website with enlightening teachers from around the world, which has a variety of metaphysical topics. Tina teaches crystal healing, chakras, auras. She has empath skills. She is also an intuitive empath live from Canada. Welcome to Angels, God, and Me. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Mary. Good morning to you too. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. I feel like you and our relationship is very business, but we have a friendship because we have an understanding. We're both trying to bring light and healing and helpful information to the world.
Yes, I think you and I have very similar callings, and we just do it in different ways with the skills that we have.
Exactly. So let's get right into it. I know your site is about to launch Metaphysical School, which is so exciting. Why did you create this school? I mean, what inspired you?
That's a pretty long story, but I can sort of shorten it. So a number of years ago, I did a weekend workshop called Awakening the Illuminated Heart, and it's based on John Melchizedek's work. And part of that workshop is that you learn how to go into your heart space. And once you get into your heart space, you can then connect to Source. And so in this workshop, I connected to Source, I guess, for the first time. It was one of my rather large intuitive awakenings. And what happened from there was I had this deep desire to find out everything I could about sacred geometry. and so I did a lot of research on the Flower of Life and Metatron's Cube and a lot of other sacred geometry. And while I was doing this research, which was mostly online, I found that finding online information about metaphysical topics was somewhat difficult. And when it wasn't difficult, it was really expensive. And so I was teaching crystal healing at the time, and I was like, well, I kind of want to make a place online where people can connect with each other, and they can learn metaphysical techniques and tools from teachers from all over the world, and really just have a safe and fun, interactive place where we can learn together, and we can journey together in our intuitive awakenings and be a community, create community. So that's kind of the short story of how Metaphysical School came about.
I'm glad that you did it, because that's how I met you, because you inquired to me would I like to do a video, which I have, how to be a light being. And your website is phenomenal. I'm looking forward to all of it coming together and presenting it to the world. I'm actually interested. I'm wondering, like, how am I going to do this? There's so much that I want to see on your site and learn about. You have great teachers like from all over the world. So about you now, when were you awakened to your intuitive skills? Because you got into this whole world, like you were just saying, what was it?
The Awakening Illuminated Heart Workshop?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
But how did you get into your intuitive skills, and what exactly is that? Can you expand on that?
Yeah, for sure. So I believe I was a pretty intuitive child, although when I was a kid, that wasn't really a term that we used. Empath didn't even exist anywhere near my vocabulary when I was a child. But, like happens to many intuitive or empathic children, life sort of happened, and all of those kind of skills and abilities got turned down and dampened. And it was actually in 2010 where my intuitive skills, I guess, abilities reawakened after 15 years of not having them on at all. And I had zero coping skills. I didn't know how to function with all of this extra overwhelming intuitive information, emotions from other people, picking up on
That's exactly same for me when I connected to it. So when did you all of a sudden pull it together and say and kind of figure it out? Because for me, it was definitely steps and opening and allowing, because every time I would kind of solve how I would handle one thing, then something else would come up, and then I would kind of have to take a journey through that. So how did you deal with it? Did you have
that's exactly what happened to me too. Yeah. I had no skills, and I learned one skill at a time. I went online and I did as much research as I could. And like you, I would find a tool and I would use that, and then that tool wouldn't be able to help for the next thing that arrived. So I do more research. So basically the last 10 years I've been researching empathic skills and intuitive abilities. And this is why I felt the need to start Metaphysical School, was so that I could share these tools, and so that other people who are joining us on this journey and in this consciousness awakening, can learn from some of the tools and techniques that I've learned and that you've learned, like in your How to Be a Light Being video, because you share 15 of them. So, yeah.
You're a sweet woman. You really are. You're so nice and warm. So wait a second. Go back to the intuitive. So do you have, like, which I spoke about earlier, I will get a premonition dream, or I literally will find information. I automatically have warning in life, like don't go near that, kind of go through things without even thinking about it. Do you have where you get information when you meet someone? I get it.
Oh yeah.
If I eyes with them, or if they speak to me, or especially if they touch me in any way, if I get a hug or handshake. What about you?
Most of my gifts are of the clairvoyant and clairsentient varieties. So the intuitive information that I get is mostly visual. It started out completely visual, and then it's sort of the clairaudient part. So being able to hear information has been coming through more and more in the last few years. But feeling other people's feelings, that is a major one for me. And it doesn't even have to be near people. I remember this one experience. I was walking in a library and I walked through this pocket of despair. Like this person had left this emotion bomb of missing something, missing another person. And I walked through it and I was like, what is this? Like, I had no idea. And I was like, just like trying not to cry in the library. And I tried to talk about it with friends, and they were like, I don't know what you're talking about, and we changed the subject.
Right. You don't get it. I realize that even with relationships, that I get, without even trying, my whole being is invested in it, and I go through it. The other person is much more distant. They're not on the same page as me. I go through it. I get all the information, and then I say, do I want to be here? And then whoop, back out. And then the other person's just figured out, and they're now invested in me. And I'm like, oh no, I figured it out. No thanks. Like I get everything so fast. It's like in and out. It's like speed relationships without trying. And it's not happy at times. So it's hard to find people that you connect with and they have an understanding. And the other thing is, I don't know if you have this too. I know we all have imperfections, and I see all the imperfections right. It's like the person's wearing it, and then I have to say, like, what can I live with? You know, it's not easy. It sounds like a lot of fun, like, oh, I'm a psychic, I'm intuitive, I'm an empath. But in reality, it's hard with human behavior and emotions. Okay. I want to ask you, do you have any crystals today to share with us? Because I love crystals, and I know they're powerful, and they have big names, some of them, and you can tell us what they do. Do you have it with you?
I do. I have some of my larger crystals to share. This is one of my favorites in particular. It's this is called an celestial smoky quartz. So it's I'm so lucky to have found this. Well, it actually found me, but this is the crystal that I will use for connecting to both divinity or source or God, whatever you want to call it, and the earth. So the celestial part is connecting to the celestial realm, and the smoky quartz part allows me to connect to the earth with deep grounding. So when I'm in need of, connection, then this is the crystal that I go to for that.
It looks like when you see one of these sci-fi movies, they have some huge crystal that might look like that, and then all this energy is coming off of it. It just looks like something like that. Where is that? I mean, where's it from? Is it what?
This crystal is from Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
For sure. Yeah. This is one of my favorites. This crystal is called lepidolite, and this is a botryoidal lepidolite. The botryoidal part means that you see all these bumps that look like bubbles. That's the botryoidal part. Lepidolite is a crystal that has lithium in it, and lepidolite is very well known to be a calming stone. Lithium calming. It helps with all things emotional. I program my lepidolites for emotional stability. I also wear lepidolite a lot, so I wear crystal bracelets like a lot of us crystal healers do. And so yeah, this one is a lepidolite bracelet. It's one of my absolute favorites.
I have a question for you. Someone just posted. Lori Sorensen is asking, what is the best crystal for grounding, Tina?
Well, the best crystal for grounding is going to be different for different people. So how crystals work is your energy interacts with the crystal's energy. So it depends what your frequency is to find the best match of the crystal that's going to do the best thing for you. Right? So how do you find it out?
Yeah.
Guess and test. You try different things. So some examples of crystals for grounding. Smoky quartz is excellent. Any of the blacks and the brown crystals are generally really good for grounding. So Black crystals might be black tourmaline or shungite. Some brown crystals might be dravite, which is brown tourmaline. Smoky quartz, of course.
I'm going to write that.
So kind of my rule of thumb for finding a crystal that does a certain thing is I'm very color oriented. So certain colors help with certain things, right? So for grounding, you would go with the darks, the browns and the blacks. For something like communication, you might choose a crystal that's blue. So you might find some blue crystals like blue kyanite or aquamarine or celestite, some other blue apatite, crystals like that. And what you would do to find the crystal that works best for you is you check in with your intuition and you ask, is this the best crystal for me for this at this time? And then you just listen and see what your intuition has to say, and then try it out. You don't know until you try.
Okay, this is my question. Is there anything that you would say you found that you would not recommend? And I don't know if every single one is going to have some kind of positive healing property. Are there any that you would say, just stay away from that?
Nope, I don't say that. But I can tell you that crystal healing doesn't always feel physically great. Because what happens with crystal healing is the crystal's energy interacts with your energy. And sometimes that brings stuff up. And sometimes that stuff is painful and it does not feel good. And the point of that energy coming up for you is to give you the opportunity to work through it. It's your choice whether you want to work through it or not. For example, howlite is a crystal that every time I get near, my jaw hurts. And it's weird. A lot of people, have specific reactions to certain crystals. And I've decided that now is not the time for me to work through whatever it is that I have to work through with how I even think about how light my jaw hurts. It's so weird. But I had a similar reaction to green fluorite. So every time I got a green fluorite for many, many years, I would feel quite nauseated. Oh. And I didn't want to deal with it for a really long time. And then I started working in a crystal store in the town that I used to work in with a friend of mine. And she really loved green fluorite. So the whole store was full of green fluorite. And every time I walked in, I would feel so I really did just have to work through it. So what I did was I worked gently and I found rainbow fluorite, which had green and purple, which is one of my favorite colors. I worked with a rainbow fluorite that was green and purple and got used to the feeling of being near the green fluorite. And eventually the feeling of being nauseous went away. And I've worked through whatever it is that I need to work through. I don't need to intellectually know what it was that I needed to work through. It's all energy stuff, right?
I had gone to these. The reason I asked that is because I had experienced something similar, which it wasn't a good thing for me. But I don't know if it was crystals, but it was something that maybe it was crystals. It was definitely a bracelet that had something on it, and they said, "Oh, this will help you. This will make you feel better." And I literally bought this bracelet at one of these healing fairs that I was working at doing readings, and I went back and I was showing everyone else, "Oh, look what I got." And then I started to feel like nauseous and I was going to throw up, and whatever it was, I want to say it was something dark. And I just went back and said, "I can't keep this. Like, you got it. I'm returning this." So I guess everyone, like you just said, it's everyone is going to have a different reaction and it's going to help them in a different way. I do agree with you about going through, something which will help you. For a while, turquoise helped me. Turquoise was great. Then rose quartz, amethyst. Clear crystal quartz. That's my favorite. I have that everywhere. But I have little gemstones. I have little gemstones like this. I don't have, no, I do have some big things, but not like you. I mean, you're a connoisseur. I don't know how to say the word.
Connoisseur?
Yeah, connoisseur on crystals. Okay, so
I want to talk about that feeling that you had about being nauseous when you picked up this crystal at a fair. Sometimes what happens when you pick up a new crystal, whether it's a bracelet or a pendant or a piece of tumbled, the feeling that you get from it isn't necessarily from the crystal, because crystals absorb energy just like people do. So maybe that crystal had picked up something from somebody, and it was that energy from somebody else. So that's why it's really important to clear your crystals before you start working with them, because you clear all of the stuff that crystal has absorbed by touching or by being near them. So sometimes it's not the crystal, it's just the energy that it's picked up.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. I do clean my crystals, so I do agree with you. But I guess back then I wasn't thinking about that, and it was a learning experience. Okay, auras. You know about auras, and you teach about auras at the Metaphysical online school, which is about to launch. I'm plugging that. Tell me about auras. I see people's energy field, but it's not the same thing. Is it?
Well,
no.
There's different kinds of auras. So what you pick up is probably a person's physical aura. So a person's physical energy can display in colors or shapes or images, right? To some people, like yourself, and that's one kind of aura. Another kind of aura is something that I see, and this is what happened in 2010. It was this ability to see people's soul auras. So I really didn't know what this was for a really long time.
What did you see exactly? What does that mean? I mean, did you see, because people would say, I'll hear people say, what color aura do you have? Blue, yellow, green. I don't see that. I see images or symbols, or and it's vibrational. I don't see like a color. What do you see a color? What is that? What were you seeing in 2010? What is that?
So I call them soul auras, and really it took a long time to figure out what it was that I was even seeing. So I would look at someone, and the intuition or intuitive empathic would turn on, and different people are different things. So some people are just colors, and it might be circular, it might be rectangular, it might be layers of color. The layers of color might go from top to bottom. The layers of color might go from inside to outside. Sometimes what I see is like an image. I looked at one person, and I saw this fairy with really big wings. So it's different. And so why I call it a soul aura, because eventually I learned that these images that I have are person specific, and they don't really change all that often. So it's not like the energy of seeing someone's emotions or mental state or where they're at in their life right then.
It's not a mood ring. It doesn't change.
Yeah, it's not a mood ring. It doesn't change that much. It can change with big drastic things happening in one's life. But what I see is I've kind of figured out that it is a visual representation of a person's soul contracts. So the things that they agreed to come to do on the planet when they incarnate here. So that's kind of what I see. And the colors mean different things. And I haven't worked out what all the colors mean.
You don't know. Can you see an aura through the camera? Can you see my aura, or do you have to be in person?
I don't have to be in person. I can pick them up from video and from pictures, like just even seeing a photo, and sometimes even just connecting to a person mentally. I'll see their I'll see their auras as well. Yeah. And once I've connected to somebody's aura, it's always there. It never
goes away.
It never goes away. So I don't do it very often because it's a level of connection to another person that is really personal. So I don't generally turn it on, like, because it's an ability I usually have to turn on. On occasion, somebody will walk into a room and it will be the only thing I see, but it's pretty rare. Yeah.
No, I get that, because I've been saying sometimes, okay, I'm closing that. And then when I close that, I'm closing a lot. So then I say, oh no, I want to know this. And then I have to open it back up. So I understand that. It's not, I don't want to say the word work, but it takes something out of you.
Yeah, it takes energy, and it connects you on a deeper level. And sometimes you don't really want that with people you don't know, right?
Exactly. No, I get that. That's why I ask, is it okay if I connect with you? And then what I do to get rid of it, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but to get it off, I come home and wash my hands with salt. I pour salt on my hands and wash it under water, and it takes it off. And then I do this after I do a reading, because I'm getting rid of the energy. It just automatically does it for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm so happy that we had you here today. And is there any upcoming events? I know that you have very soon some kind of event coming up. And what do you have coming up in the next few days?
Next week, I am going to be an expert panelist at the Holistic and Psychic Online Summit. So one of our metaphysical school faculty generally hosts in-person fairs called the Holistic Market and Psychic Fair. And because of what's going on, she can't hold her events. So she's, instead of holding it in person, she's holding it online. So she's invited 16 expert panelists to come and speak on a number of topics, and I'm one of her expert panelists. And I'm going to be talking about boosting immune system and stress management. So my perspective will be from a highly sensitive or empathic person's perspective on how to do that. But yeah, that's coming up next week, April 21st to 23rd, and I'm pretty sure you can find it on Facebook at Holistic and Psychic Online Summit. And you can
very cool. That's impressive. That's where you should be, be a panelist. Yeah. Okay. No, because you have so much information to share, and you're accurate, and you have, all the terminology, and you walk through the steps, which I love. I loved everything you just told me today. Because for me, this is, I do this show, but I'm getting the information too, and it's exciting. It's exciting to know you helped me understand, the auras, which now I'm going to do some research on my own, because I'm always trying to learn. And so your school is metaphysical.school.
It is. That is the website, metaphysical.school.
School. And you will be launching very soon.
Very soon, yes, within
weeks. And how many videos do you have on there with teachers presenting topics?
We have 40 individual video courses already, and they can be purchased individually or as a series if there is a series that was offered. So, for example, we have a series on archetypes, and it's 4 videos, and it's wonderful. I loved it. And what you were saying that you got to learn from me, this is one of the reasons why I also started Metaphysical School, is because I get to learn all of this metaphysical information from the teachers as they submit their video content. It's wonderful. I love it.
So what are some of the topics that you have on the school website? You just said archetypes, you have crystals, light being, how to be a light being. What else do you have?
Yeah. So we have videos on the law of attraction, We have a video on numerology. We have a video on it's called Embrace Your Potential, and it's on mental repatterning. It's excellent. We have how to connect to your higher self. So we have a 3-video series on that. I've created a series on crystal healing. I've done an empath skills video, which is called how to bring back balance and calm, especially for intuitives, sensitives, and empaths. I have a video on chakras as well. Well, there's 2 of those. Yeah, so our topics are kind of all over the map. They're organized into 8 core subjects to make it really easy. You just search for the subject you're looking for, and the videos on that topic will come up. So yeah, I'm very excited to launch.
I'm very excited. I really appreciate you getting up early this morning, because I know, what's the time difference?
I'm 3 hours before you, so it's 4:41 a.m. my time. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. I'm excited. We've both come so far since we've known each other, which is now over a year, right?
It's a year and a half, probably, I think. Yeah. You were one of the very first people to come on board and say, yeah, I totally want to do that. And you did.
I really want to do this. And then it took me 6 months, because it was all about writing it and putting it together and producing it. So yeah. I'm really excited actually to be a part of your school. And I hope that I'll do some more videos. You know, it's a project. It's a lot of work, and you know, it's everything from putting it together, editing everything, and then getting it approved. And so I want to thank you so much, Tina, and I'm sending you hope and love for your project, and surrounding it with light, the Metaphysical School, and everything works out wonderfully. And good luck next week.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay. Have a wonderful day, Tina.
You too.
Okay, bye. That was insightful. Okay, so I wanted to, before I go, talk about power animals. And power animals embody the strength and power and wisdom of the animal. So what's your power animal? There's butterflies, bears, cats, crows, cougars, coyotes, hummingbirds, jaguars, crow, deer, dog, dolphin, dragon, eagle, frog, hawk, horse, ladybug, lion, owl, panda, panther, peacock, sheep, tiger, turtle, wolf. And I'm bringing this up because recently I remembered that I had on 2 occasions had a bunny rabbit with very significant situation that I remember. And I wondered, is the bunny rabbit a spirit animal guide for me, or was the bunny rabbit a power animal? Now, a spirit animal guide protects you on your journey, and I also wondered if it was related. It wasn't in my dream, but there was some significance to this bunny rabbit, and I'll tell you what happened. Back in 2015, I lived at this beach house in my town, and one early morning I went outside. I'm not saying it was the crack of dawn. I'm saying that it was, morning. It was maybe 11 or 12, I remember. And I heard everything was quiet, but I heard on this telephone wire, this crow. And I looked up, and this crow was enormous. It was like unbelievably huge. And I was, what's this crow up there? What's it doing? And so I stood there, and I'm really connected to nature. So I look at things symbolically, like, what does this mean? Is there a message here? And so I see going across the pavement a little bunny rabbit. It wasn't a adult bunny, it was a baby bunny, and it was going across, and this crow was watching this bunny rabbit. So now I felt involved. How I have to save this bunny rabbit from this crow. Now the crow went from wire to wire, was getting closer and closer to the bunny, and I went out and I was trying to shoo the bunny, and then it went underneath a fence and across a lawn. And I thought, okay, the bunny rabbit's fine. Then another bunny rabbit appeared, so there must have been a nest of bunny rabbits, and now they both were on the lawn. And I was probably out there for 45 minutes to an hour shooing away the crow to make sure that it didn't snatch the little bunny rabbits, because I felt like it was so vulnerable and weak. And I think maybe that was maybe how I was perceiving myself, or because of what's happened to me in my life. Not a victim, but kind of. So I shooed away the crow, and finally it left. And it did swoop down towards the bunnies a few times. And I was scared for the bunnies. And then I had to when the crow left, I had to go on my way. But I wanted to save the bunny. Now, later in 2018, I was shooting a sunrise scene with my friend Paul Moore, who always shot all my camera work. And again, I was in my town, but I went and I got into the car to leave, and the sun was not up yet. And on this lawn, I saw, and it turned and looked at me, a big red fox. And in the fox's mouth was a bunny rabbit, a little bunny. So that was upsetting to me, because it was kind of like good and evil, strong and weak, light and darkness. And here again is the bunny. So I'm just bringing up these stories because I'm encouraging you to find, do you have animals that you consider to be a power animal for you that embodies strength and power? Is there a spirit guide animal that is trying to guide you and heal you on your journey? Look into that. Now, before we go, I wanted to do what I normally do, which is, and when I work with clients, is to present a gemstone. I know we had a crystal, a lot of information about crystals. So today, it's carnelian. And it's like an orangish stone. And this crystal or gemstone is motivation, leadership. It's courage, brings balance, sexual energy. And this is for the heart chakra, love, and romance and passion. Thank you, Tina. She just wrote a note. Beautiful stories. Oh. Thank you for joining me. Please like my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages. Wishing you create light, art, actions of kindness and compassion to clear away darkness with lasting repercussions through a chain of events. With awareness, you can change your focus, your mood, yourself, and your happiness. I'm sending out prayers of hope and love and light to everyone that is going through this tough time, and wishing you have a very positive and happy day. Thanks for joining me.